And welcome back. So I got it all buttoned up and raised the floor by 1 meter so we can see what it looks like out here. I don't think I'll normally do this out here. But this does show you what it looks like with the floor raised to be the same level as the belt. Up top, it's just like it was. Big open area with our machines and everything, inputs and outputs and power and everything going down. Underneath, we have all of this stuff. Now you can't just walk over the belts, but if you crouch, that works. So I changed where my outputs are. I started looking at the next layer, and I need to feed these ingots to... Some of them go to 4 machines building iron rods, and some of them go to 3 machines building iron plates. This is the 52.5 lines. So this one needs to go up to 4 machines. I thought, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could set up the machines across this way and just have this stripe across. And yeah, I should do a splitter to a splitter, but yeah, I ain't got enough time for that. The other way I could do this would be to bring it out this wall. Then the problem is that if I come in the middle, I'm coming in right underneath one of the machines. And that makes it a little bit hard. So I've already put in the sandwich up above. We can close this guy up. The reason why this is stopped, of course, is because his outputs are out on the face here, and they have got nowhere to go, and they're completely full. You see how this, I can just walk around in here. I just need to crouch to walk over belts. So, what's the cost that I paid for this? And it's a cost in aesthetics. It means from below. If you look up at the sandwich layer, you can see the bases of all the splitters and mergers. And I think you can also see a little nubbin like this wherever you have a belt support. I'm good with that. Especially since we can probably change the textures of the foundations eventually, and it may have a texture that's thick enough. Sorry about that. So, onward and upward to our next layer. Big old 4x4 area. And we're kind of committed because of what we did down below, so that our inputs are here and here. In fact, let's actually set those up. I am not sure whether I can put in holes or not. I could put these holes out here somewhere, but I don't know whether it would clip or not. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to start off with the risers. I'll clip them on normally. And if I decide I want to put them on any closer, I will work out what to do later. But it will probably involve putting a hole here. There we have it. So that's actually a pretty good looking sandwich layer. You'd do a lot better for a kind of a building surrounding it. Something that Make it look like it's got some support. But it's good for a start. And now we need to go up to the top. I need to stand this off because if I brought my ladder down here, notice how it disappears into the wall there? And I'm not sure whether you can actually climb through that or not. So, this is the belt that has the one machine plus a quarter of the other three. So if we look back at the checklist, this is for the iron rods on this left-hand side. We need 4 iron rod constructors on this side. On this side, we need 3 plates. We're coming in the middle, so wherever I put my constructor here, this guy needs to be able to split into it. So let's think. I need to be on center line here. And I don't want to be... If I put it there, it becomes visible outside. Can I put it there? Well, if I'm content to use a manifold on this, this is going to work just fine. We do a splitter. Oops, it goes the other way. Oh, and this guy needs to be over 60. He needs to be Mark II. I just realized I didn't Mark II the stuff below it. That guy needs to be Mark II. Because he is eating up 3/4. Wait a minute. Is that right? Yeah. He's slightly over 60, so he needs to be Mark II. Okay. Back up to the top. The dismantle crate and the death crate are both taunting me. See where they are? There's the death crate. There's the dismantle crate. I have no idea where that dismantle crate is way out there. We've never been there. So we are going to be doing a splitter from there. That can't be nudged, which means I need to put it in place first. If that's right. And I think we could just do that all the way down. We're even going to do it on the last one because I don't believe we can make that bend with a 90-degree bend. all lined up. I think so. Oh, and I just realized this is going to be the old problem of it not wanting to put the thing on its actual correct location. We'll have to sneak the holes in later. A constructor. Input from the left. I want to give us as much room as possible. I think I could put it there. Well... it works. It's kind of fiddly to get it connected, but it works. So these are packed in as tightly as they can be. If we were to put walls around this, they would poke out. But I think I like the idea of having the actual building be larger than the footprint of these floors. You have a little bit of air inside. So we need to put these in. Splitter needs to be aligned with him. Center. So to get that to clip together, possible, I really can't hit it from here. So I heard those click, so I am fairly confident that this actually will move materials into these constructors. Now this is the lower quantity. These are the iron rods. Oh, I haven't been setting the underclocking. On the iron ingots, we were good. Iron plate needs to be at 75%, and the iron rods need to be at 87.5. These are 87 point. So 13.125 by 4, going to be 52.5. Checking that. Yep, that's correct. Copy the settings. The other thing I want to do is get the power routed for these. And here's what I missed before, is I could just have dropped this down underneath that. And it needs to be there. It's just on the right-hand side of the strip. Just like that. And we'll work out where this has to go shortly. I'll probably take it across the middle there. So that side is done. So if I bring the power up, power up to that, I'd be able to actually see if my constructors are working. So we're just going to do that temporarily. I will bring it to here. Here. I will rework this power later. There we go. And we're getting iron rods out of all of them. The reason why I've decided not to worry about the manifolds at this point, despite doing all that extra work early on for the splitting, is that I'm going to be building this slowly, and each manifold is going to have time to fill before I really can take it anywhere. Let's take a look at our setup here. Those are the rods. I'm going to check that off. And where do the rods go? The rods go up to the screws and also all the way up to the modular frame. And the screws go to the reinforced iron plate. So we might put the screws on the same level as the reinforced iron plate. If that fits, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm going to tinker with it. But yeah, that means that the rods do go all the way up. They don't split 50-50. 13.125 a minute, which means two of them would be 26.5. So two of them together would be more than the screw needs, but less than the modular frames need. So I'm going to take all of it and I'm going to bring it all together on one line, and I will probably send it out here somewhere. But let's see, I can bring it right to there. I could bring it one further. Since I'm doing it really close in on this layer, we could do it like that. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it as close as I can, hitting H for hologram, and then nudging it into place. And that was almost too tight. So this is going to come down into another set of merges. I might even be able to take it out. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is my wall here. So that's the edge. Means if I want to take it out here, now let's give it to here. Okay, so that's where these are going to go. Merger. There we go. You know what? I didn't need to have these this close. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this hole out by 2, and I'll bring the constructors out by 1. Easy way to bring the hole up by 2 is just by put the holes, 2 holes right in like that. And I'm going to get rid of the old lifts, because when I put them in, I'm going to want to put them in again anyway to make sure that my machines are set up properly. So this means these machines do take up precisely one foundation in a way that makes it kind of nice for how it comes together. And I think, see, if I hold down control, it puts it too high. So we're going to have to do these very carefully. Okay, let's get around back. Yes, all that extra fanciness I did to get it hooked up isn't needed. It's good to know that we can go that tight if we need to. We do not need to. Oh, and of course, the one thing I forgot, these guys do need to have their power brought down. These are now in the wrong place. Where are they? How does that look? That still looks pretty good. In fact, it's probably better than it was before. I still have it in my copy buffer? I do. That's not right. Okay, so those rods are working. Whoops. That's not right. Okay, try this again. Merger to the left. I do not want to send ingots. Start from this end. Rods are working there. And no rods from here. It's not getting any ingots. Looks like he's moving now. There we have it. Now by hooking up in that order, I'm able to verify that each machine is working. It's turning out the right thing. If I saw something other than a rod, I could just remove that belt before it went any further. Kind of like when I noticed the ingots were weird. Okay, and that takes care of that side. I'm going to reestablish my utility walkway out here so I can look at things. So all the rods are there. They're all backed up. Machines have stopped because I took away their power. And now we can work on the other side. I think I'm going to do just the same kind of build. I left the editor going all this time, didn't I? I'm going to do the iron plate now. So 3 machines making iron plate at 75%. I don't think you save any energy by doing 4 machines at less than that. Don't know what the relative thing is. Maybe more machines. Wherever they were looking for a formula for how much overclocking, underclocking helped. I think the idea was that if you overclocked it by double, it took more than double the energy. You underclocked it to half, it took more than half the energy. So you want to make it near 100%. I also seem to remember that 100 plus 100 plus 500 was not as efficient as leveling it across them. Anyway, that's from a long time ago. I haven't rerun the numbers. Obviously, we have no real numbers for release. Let's turn off the editor and put in our 3 plate machines. I'm just going to make them look the same. I'm just going to put them on the midpoints here. Let's see. We were just in from the edge, like that. That's where our machines are going to go. Now, I could cuddle them close on one end to the other, but there's no real need for it. Where did I get that? Oh, there's the power. Okay, got rid of my temporary little power nubs. The inputs align with that one and that one. Life before Nudge was not as pleasant. Guys are doing iron plate, and they are producing 45 per minute. It's easier for me just to put in 45 per minute, right, like that. Oops. 45 divided by 3 is 15. We put in the power. main power comes up here. We take it inside the wall. So let's take it inside the wall and align with these guys. And you go... There you go. So putting this in here like this means we didn't have too many connections here. It really is just going two ways, so it could have worked, but bringing it diagonally in also means it'll work better with the walls. See, if we had brought it right down the edge, we might have gotten cable along this wall, kind of in a loopy. Wouldn't have looked good. Okay, now we need to do the output. Merger heading that way. Let's put the outputs from the top first. Hey, Fred. Double check those guys look good. Okay, he's working. He's working. He's working. Get this buttoned up. We have now verified that these guys are doing the appropriate things. They've got the right outputs. I believe I have buttoned up what I need to button up here. We just run around marking these things. Let's mark the ladder too while I'm at it. We still need to deal with the raising the floor by one. So there's our outputs. Plates and rods. we can go back to our editor and I can mark off we have done plates. And we are half done. Yay! Next thing is I'm going to try to do the screws and the reinforced iron plates all on one floor. I think that'll fit. The iron rods need to be turned into screws. The iron rods are coming up on the left there, kind of behind the editor. Reinforced iron plates then take all of the screws, so feed it in from here, and we're going to get an output probably along the back, curl around and come in from the other side. And that needs to go into 2 reinforced iron plate machines. So I'm thinking we have them input to input. So this guy needs to go across, getting inputs that way, and this guy needs to get the inputs on the other side. Okay, so I think we can do that all in one place. I'm going to go ahead and button this up. Oh, come on. I thought I could clip to the inside of that, but apparently not. Oh well, that works. The trick is to do this without also deleting anything down here. That's not too bad. You can definitely see where the splitters are and what direction they're oriented. Okay, so I need to put in another floor above that. Okay, so apparently clipping it onto the outside of a wall works better. So I think what I'll do to set my height is zoop up a wall instead of the foundations. So I may not need to have quite as tall a floor here. This floor had to be tall because it had a bunch of smelters on it. And I like the full 3, that full height there. This guy. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. So there's the 2 levels for the start from there, I can go up like that. Come on. Can't aim. One, two, three, 5. There, 4x4. Here's my 4x4 footprint that I want to hit. And that was the underfloor. No, it wasn't. I hadn't built the underfloor yet. There we go. That works better. There we go. So we're going to build belts and such down here. And now we get to figure out, I keep leaving the editor up because this is a tricky one. 3 constructors for screws, 2 assemblers for reinforced iron plate. Okay, now I can take it down. The thinking is the screws here, if we're coming up on these 2, let's commit to it. Trick is going to be fitting the 2 assemblers in without taking up too much of the space. Thinking is dead center it in here. That's as close as we can put them. Other way has us putting it, the outputs out that way. That makes it trickier to route the inputs. Gives us a space down the middle. There. See how that works. tight on this side, but I think we'll be able to make it. It's going to get these three merged and then split back out to two of those. I believe the plates can come in and put all their mergers on the right-hand side. So will that work? That appears to work. Okay, that may give me enough space to do this. If I set these all up this way, I can always turn them, but it makes it easier to put the other lift in the top. I don't know, maybe if they do all go that way, maybe I do end up with these guys being around like this somehow. We'll see. Or maybe the two of them turn around. This guy needs to come in and jog over and come down this way, meet up with two of them. Maybe he comes farther down, give some space for the end ones to dogleg back. I would like to have these pointed the other way, though. These two, ooh, wait a minute. First of all, I can move that assembler to the left one. Yeah. See how the one to the left is not in the right place. So he wants, this is as close as he can be. I want to make him one further. Hold on. So what I'm thinking is I'll have the splitter on the center line here, split into these two. think that's far enough apart. The other thing is that this power comes straight down. And if I put it just on that cross, that's not too bad. These guys are just a little bit bigger. Oops, one more. Good. It's good. It's good enough. Ah! Here, Fred. There he is. Let's get these guys hooked up. Come on. First that. So these two are merged together to make our output. I think I'm just going to put the merger in between them and have it take it out. No, I am not going to take it out right there. We'll figure it out. It'll depend on how the splitters go on the other side. Plenty of space here. Oops. These guys are reversed. Can I just reverse it? Nope. And what if I put the splitter in to begin with here? Yeah. somehow I need the output of 3 machines coming in along this line. Have not enough space for 2 machines on either side of it. Well, I can move the splitter. That. That brings it offset. Hold on, wait a minute. I think I know how to do this. Splitter is here, right? Get a merger coming in right here. I can move it off to the left if I need to, which means one of them comes down here, one of them here, and one of them here. So those are 3 machines just line up perfectly. And we've got some flexibility on where this ends up. And the only constraint is that this guy has to come in and make a turn immediately. He'll obviously make a left turn, or make a turn in this way. Which means input is here. Output is that. This guy can move one to the left. Hold on. Okay, let's move it up 1. Sure. That. We're checking, we're making screws, we're making 90 per minute, so this needs to, between these two needs to be a 2 belt. That one clip in. Yes. That's better. So these machines are ready to go in. You are lined up with your input. Ah. And your output. Good. Little ticks that say we're clipped in. I didn't really need to jump down there. These are screws. More importantly, there are screws at 75%. These are turning out 40 screws each. Hold on. 75% constructors building screws. My plan says that produces 90 per minute. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Yes, the one I copied didn't have the underclocking on it. There we go. All set. Gonna come down here. That looks like it is good enough. We're going to bring this out to that location. There. That's going to go to the edge. Is turning into quite the build. So next thing is this has to be split between these three. Now I would love to do a normal three-way split. That would require putting my splitter here. It would have to come in from the right. Means I would have to snuggle it in like that. Oh, that's not too bad. Those guys can have a little bit of an S-bend. down on this line here. There we go. Now I could have scotched things around just a little bit so that these verticals are over by one, which would have moved those guys by one, which would have moved all this by one. This is good enough. Okay, so he's got no power. Because we haven't brought power up yet. Wait a minute. Go out here. There we have it. These guys now have power and they're making screws. These guys aren't hooked up yet. That's just wrong. That hole is in the wrong place. There. Boom. So these guys are the reinforced iron plate. They take iron plates and screws, and they need to run at 75%. Try that again. So 3.75 from each one, 7.5 total. They've both got screws coming in. Now I need to route their plates. That should be easy enough. So we just need to put a splitter right there. So this will automatically clip in. Should be a nice horizontal. I'm going to rerun this just to make sure. Yep. It went tick. If you're short enough, I'm just going to snap you in. how are we doing here? We're getting inputs, extracting. So now we need to decide where to send our output. Reinforced iron plate's going to be used on the floor above it to make modular frames, where we have 3 assemblers. So we're going to be putting 3 assemblers side by side on the next floor up and dealing with the routing headache. And their inputs are going to be reinforced iron plates and more iron rods. Oh, that's right. Our iron rods don't stop here. So I foolishly thought I could split this 3 ways, and really what I need is a manifold. So I can pass on anything that doesn't go to the manifold going up. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to do my outputs here. Actually, I need to put the clips on after I set up the belts, or the belts go the wrong way. See? These guys need to come like that. And I need to set up the manifold going this way. Bring it all the way out to the left. There's no need, though. Come on. So I need to be able to see iron rods arriving at these machines. I suppose I can stare at them and verify it. Oh, come on. I will just have to carefully watch. Over on this line. Back it out by 2. Got a nice square corner. Now we can bring this up. I need to see you going up. Seeing you going up. Okay. Which means that just setting up the splitter like that isn't sufficient. I guess I still do need to explicitly bring this in. There we go. Okay, so if you're going to be connecting a splitter or a merger directly to a vertical, you need to clip the vertical in last. Something's wrong with that splitter. I want to see rods in the second machine now. We have rods arriving in the second machine. And now the third machine. And we have rods arriving at the third machine. And I'm just going to let you S-curve your way over. This will have the remainder of the rods always at least 1/8. Yeah, these will saturate their input buffers, and then our output will rise to the appropriate level. These two outputs are going to head over here. Then we set up a merger. Toward us. I'm going to put it like that. Oh wait, nope, that too close. Make sure I'm seeing the output from one guy first. This is the output from the first machine. This is the output from the second machine. Yay! We have both machines making reinforced iron plate. So we have the reinforced iron plate and the pass-through on the iron rods coming out of this one. So the floor above us takes these two components to make modular frames. That's simple enough. Have to button things up and clean it all up. Get rid of all of our temporary scaffolding. I should have thought. Last minute, I thought maybe I'll jump over onto the top of that thing. I will have plenty of chance to fiddle with that moment. So we got the reinforced iron plates done. That should be turning out 7.5. Well, actually, let's bring it up and update it. We did our screws. Yeah, reinforced iron plates. Did I get those set to 75%? Yes, I did. I could jump over there. So there's a whole bunch of these guys. I think hit these with explosives. That was the way it worked in early access. There's something in there making noise that I can't see because of the explosives. Probably a power slug. Bet you it's a nice purple one. Oh, can't see it. Okay, so we're ready for the final stretch. I'm going to take a break and let this fill up its buffers. I'm going to consider stealing some reinforced iron plate from this guy if I'm running low. I'm not running low. But also what I'm going to do is put in lookout tower. Ow. So there's our coal. Feeds down into there. Got our steel coming in. And now this tower is where we're making our modular frames. At the top of it, we'll be making the next part, which will have to take over the space elevator. And that's where I'm going to stop to take a break. I will see you in a few.